This is a stimulus update and daily news report. Got some big updates to share with you. One state has just announced a new gas tax holiday, as well as a few other items that are now tax-free. 482,000 jobs were added in the country in the month of April. I'll give you some other reports on the economy. Student loan forgiveness, while some critics are calling it student loan socialism, I'm going to give you the other side of student loan forgiveness and what the critics are saying about that and where we're at in terms of updates. Caregivers and parents to get $450 checks. Essential workers to get $200 to $1,000 checks in one state, and I'll give you some other important updates as well. Hope you're having a wonderful weekend and a happy Mother's Day to all the moms out there. So my wife is actually working a 24-hour shift today, so otherwise we'd be spending Mother's Day together there. But happy Mother's Day to all the other mothers. Also, what do you think about the mustache? My wife requested me keep it on as I was buzzing the rest of my face. What do you think about it? Let me know down in the comments below. Let's get into this. So Pelosi announces $45,000 minimum salary for House staffers. So these are not Congress members, but just people who work as staffers for all the other House members. So what she said is, I am pleased to announce that pursuant to the statutory authority, a speaker in 2 U.S.C. 4532, the House will for the first time ever set the minimum annual salary for staff at $45,000. So they have raised the staff. It doesn't really say what it was before. Okay, previously there was no salary floor in Congress, with some staffers being paid as low as $30,000. So now it's going to be $45,000. Then, huge news here. So, big gas tax holiday going on in Florida. So, Governor Ron DeSantis signs tax holiday gas tax break, and it's going to have a few different things. Gas, diapers, essential items will be tax-free in Florida. So, how much can Floridians save there? So, from gas to diapers, hurricane supplies, dozens of expensive and essential items will be tax-free in Florida over the next few months, and it is saving 25 cents per gallon. That's how much the tax will be, and this will be during the entire month of October. So gas will be tax-free, saving 25 cents there. And in addition, children's diapers as well as clothing and shoes for kids who are 5 and under will be tax-free for an entire year from July 1st until June 30th of 2023. Children's books will be tax-free for 3 months from May 14th to August 14th. And there's a few other things as well. Let me know your thoughts on that. Should other states go tax-free, gas tax, as well as a few other type of items tax-free to help out with kids and families? Let me know your thoughts on that. Essential workers, so stimulus, essential workers to see stimulus payments totaling $30 million. So this is going on in Connecticut, and payments can be pretty high. So when this is official, this will be effective July 1st of 2022. And the way that the bonuses will work, so full-time workers are considered to be eligible to see bonuses worth $200 to $1,000. Income cap is $150,000, and certain part-time workers could see $500 checks. So that's just for essential workers and how they qualify them going on in Connecticut. A few different things like bus drivers, nurses, frontline workers, healthcare, so a few things like that. And then caregivers, including parents, to start getting monthly payments of $450 in weeks. Are you eligible? So this is going on in Ithaca, New York through the Guaranteed Income Program, which is going to fund out 110 residents for 12 months, giving $450. This is to low-income caregivers, including parents, to offset expenses such as food, housing, medical costs, and potential financial emergencies. So yeah, that's going on in Ithaca, New York. And then for President Biden's approval rating to go up, it's obvious what needs to go down. So Main Street businesses, business owners, and the American public are convinced a recession will hit the U.S. economy this year, and inflation is the primary reason, according to the latest CNBC SurveyMonkey small business survey of Q2. And even among Democrats and liberal-leaning Americans in the business community and broader population, belief the economy will crash is high. Let me know your thoughts. Will the economy crash? We've heard a lot of reports coming out from financial institutions, which I've shared with you, saying a recession is going to happen. Do you think that's going to happen? Let me know your thoughts on that. Some other sort of good news here. So April jobs report, payrolls rise by 428,000 as unemployment rate holds at 3.6%. So pretty robust in terms of growth. Take a look at this video clip right here, giving more of a general report.
There is a wide disconnect right now between Wall Street and Main Street. Inflation fears continue to rattle the markets. President Biden taking credit for what he's calling the strongest job creation economy in modern times. Today, the Labor Department reported the economy added 428,000 jobs last month. That's more than economists had predicted. It marks the 12th straight month of job gains above 400,000. Meantime, the unemployment rate held steady at 3.6%, just above the 50-year low of 3.5 from before the pandemic. President Biden touting the new jobs report in a speech in Cincinnati today. He says his policies are helping the economy.
I'm a capitalist. I want to build this economy from the bottom up and the middle out, because when that happens, everybody does well. The poor have a way up, the middle class do fine, and the wealthy do very, very well. Never get hurt when that happens.
The president insists the economy is still heading towards the right direction. Wall Street disagrees. The Dow dropping about 100 points today, one day after it plunged by more than 1,000, 3%. The S&P and NASDAQ also closed in the red this session. In a moment, CNBC's Kayla Tausche on the White House economic plan. First, NBC News senior business analyst Stephanie Ruhle. Stephanie, so many problems with the economy, but one of those problems is not the job market. How strong is it, and where do we see the most gains?
Shep, good to see you. We saw strong job gains across the board, but a couple sectors where we saw it the most: leisure, hospitality, travel. And that's no surprise. You've been reporting on it. We're expecting a huge travel summer. People coming out of COVID wanting to get out there and vacation again. And many business owners in resort and vacation towns, casinos, are worried they're not going to be able to get fully staffed for the summer demand. If you've got a niece or a nephew saying they can't find a summer job, send them to me, because those jobs exist for sure. We're also seeing big hiring in the public sector. Teachers, for example, still a huge amount of teachers need to be hired, but we're seeing a lot there. And it is a big positive to continue to see wage growth go up 5.5%. But a problem is inflation. With inflation running so hot, that wage growth gets eaten up real quickly.
And is that one of Wall Street's problems? Because they don't seem to be looking at any of this. They're looking somewhere else.
All right. Wall Street is completely worried about one thing: the Fed and slowing inflation. When the Fed raised rates earlier this week, at a first blush, markets felt great about it. And then they woke up the next morning and remembered that the Fed raising rates and slowing inflation is tricky. They have got to stick this landing. If they raise rates too much, too quickly, they could tip us into recession. And if they don't do it enough, inflation will continue to run. So trying to balance those two is really tough, and you could see that in skittish market response.
Yeah, tricky. Next week, though, we're getting another snapshot of inflation, Steph. What should we expect there? Is there relief in sight?
Maybe. Listen, we saw last month inflation go up 8.5% from a year ago. We expect it to be a bit lower than that, more like 8.1%. But remember, even if inflation slows, prices are still high. It doesn't mean prices are going to drop, so you'll feel better when you go to the grocery store. But the biggest issue really is oil and gas prices. And we know they remain high because of the situation in Ukraine, the situation with Russia. That's not changing anytime soon. And it doesn't just affect what you and I pay at the pump. Remember, everything that we buy needs to get delivered, shipped to the stores we shop from. And when the shipping costs go up, when gas prices go up for those trucks, you and I pay more.
Yes, we do. Stephanie Ruhle, thanks so much.
So let me know your thoughts on all that. Is the economy doing better? I guess it's hard to generalize the economy overall, because you have a lot of low-income people who are not doing so well, fixed income struggling, but then there are other parts of the economy where housing is going crazy, prices are going crazy, so you have the rich getting richer, kind of like a K-shape. Poor getting poor, but yet there's still jobs being created, so it's hard to say whether or not the economy is doing better or worse. But let me know your thoughts on all that. Speaking of other things with the economy and President Biden, so student loan forgiveness, Mitch McConnell decries student loan socialism as Biden mulls move. So what's the latest with that? We're still getting little crumbs of information in terms of student loan forgiveness. But this is what Mitch McConnell said. Student loan socialism would be a giant slap in the face to every family who sacrificed to save for college, to every graduate who paid their debt, to every worker who made a different career choice so they could stay debt-free. Do you agree with that? Let me know your thoughts. Take a look at this video clip right here, giving the critics' perspective against student loan forgiveness and why it may not be the best thing. Take a look at this right here.
And President Biden is facing growing pressure to forgive student loan debt. But a CBS News reports that many critics have opposed the move, arguing that it could have devastating economic impacts. So Money Watch reporter Megan Cirillo is with us now to explain where some of the concerns are coming from. I think this is an incredibly interesting topic. You know why some people would be in favor of some sort of debt relief, because people are burdened under this for decades. They're in their 40s, they're in their 50s, they're still paying off their student loans. It's ridiculous. But it's not so easy. So why do critics say that canceling student loan debt won't actually offer the financial relief that is needed to the people who need it the most?
Certainly there are benefits to individual borrowers who might have put off major purchases like buying a home, buying a car, or starting a family. But critics of with the kind of loan cancellation that Biden has been talking about say that this really doesn't give financial relief to the poorest Americans who didn't necessarily go to college. People with school debt tend to be upper middle class, and these degrees that they've borrowed money to pursue these degrees that have led to more lucrative careers. So they could be doctors, they could be lawyers if they've gone to graduate school. And critics say that this is like a retroactive subsidy for these people who aren't actually, those who need it the most.
Right. And what I've learned over the last 2 years in watching, the COVID aid is that you can't just put money into the economy like that without having some sort of an impact. So could this canceling student debt loan, could it contribute to inflation?
It could, certainly for those folks whose debt is canceled. Presumably they'll have a little bit of a cushion in their monthly budgets, and that could lend to greater spending on goods and services, and that could stoke inflation. So that's another criticism or concern.
And the other thing that I thought about too is canceling student debt or reducing, let me rephrase this. Could canceling or reducing potentially encourage people to get a college education without the threat of loans? So I suppose it's a twofold. Could it encourage more people to go to college, which is great, but could it also encourage colleges to ask for more money in tuition?
Well, this isn't an overhaul of the system. We're not fixing the issue. This is sort of a treatment of the symptoms.
Yeah.
And critics have said that this could lead borrowers to, I don't want to say borrow recklessly, but they may be less considerate about, they may not go into these loans with a plan to repay them. And then we'd end up in the same situation years from now.
Of course, people would still have tremendous debts that they owe, maybe not as much as before, but it would still be a ton of money. Is there a remedy? What can be done?
So no one's really opposed outright to canceling student debt, but critics of this particular proposal say that more targeted relief would be better, sort of to serve first-generation college students or low-income families, so that it really serves those people who need it the most, and it's not this, like I said, this retroactive subsidy to people who are already relatively well off.
Makes a lot of sense. It's a tough one, though. Megan, thank you very much.
Thanks, Anne-Marie.
So as usual, I like to give multiple perspectives on this channel: the left, the right, the center, reasons for, reasons against. When it comes to student loan forgiveness, let me know your thoughts on that. Are you for it, against it? Personally, I don't have any student loans, so I'm in the air about it, but let me know your thoughts on that. And that is all the news that I have for you today to hopefully brighten your day a bit. Here's my daughter Bella's tip of the day.
Hi guys, this is Bella. This is tip of the day. I want to tell you one of my favorite secrets. Adults don't know everything. So I don't too. I know I'm really smart, but I don't really know as much things. You don't know as much things, but we're all gonna learn. I promise. If you keep on working every day, I can. And we all can, and we can all be really smart. And we can all be really smart.
Thank you so much for watching. Once again, happy Mother's Day to all the moms out there. Hope you're having a great day. Moms, you make it all happen and don't get enough credit. So my heart, my love goes out to all the moms out there, especially my mom as well. So yeah, big up to all the moms. Anyways, if you want to check out any of my latest videos, my other channels, you could click up here, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care, be safe. Thank you for watching.